Hello everyone. So thanks for joining me. So today's project is about my mill. The gear lever is jammed, it won't turn, and I need to get into the gearbox to see what's going on there, to see why it's not moving. So I've drained out the oil so far, and now I need to get in here and see if I can figure out what's going on with the gears. So come along with me and let's see what we can do. Hopefully we can fix it. So I've had this off previously. In fact, I made this clear cover, but I don't remember if I used some kind of a gaskety material to glue this thing on. Let's see what we can see. If I bring you closer up here. So this gear slides up and down on this shaft. And when you turn the gear knob, it should push this gear up. So the arm and the little selector are moving, but the gear looks like it's jammed. Okay, so I've managed to move this gear, but it is incredibly stiff. Now it's not moving at all. Oh, there, okay. So I can move it, but it's like it's seized onto this shaft. So the only thing is to try and get this whole shaft out, and that links straight into the motor, which means I'm going to have to take the motor off. So this is all the wiring for the forward and reverse. But here is the power coming in onto this little connector block. So I'm just going to take those off. Right, so I've taken out the bolts. There's 4 mounting bolts. And this motor, if I remember correctly, was absolutely rock solid in here. Moving. I need somewhere to lift this up. So this is the setup I've got. A couple of ratchet straps around the motor just to support the weight, because once it comes loose I'm worried it's going to go flying and I'm not strong enough to hold it. So this should just support the weight. Okay. I need to put a little block or something under there to hold it. So the weight is kind of off here now, but I'm reluctant to lift it too high. Okay, so it's very close. So the straps are going behind the bolt so it can't slip off. And I've got a ratchet strap around the top here so that the thing doesn't topple. That's about as low as I can get it there. Oh man. There we go. Okay, there's a keyway, and then this shaft just goes in there. So this is the top of the shaft. It's just a keyway which mates into a key on the spindle of the motor. So this to me looks like a big bearing in here. So I'm thinking this thing gets pushed out from underneath. So looking in here, this is the shaft. This one here is the shaft that's going to be pushed out. And the drain plug, you can just see it there. I'll push something in from underneath. The drain plug is exactly in line with that shaft. So I think that is the idea, is you push something up there and you push that out. So I'm unable to get that seal out the top there, and I think there must be a circlip or something that holds that shaft in at the top. Right, so this is the manual for my mill. And this is the assembly. So that's the motor and the shaft and the gears. So if I look here, there's no circlip. There's a bearing, and there's a bearing cap, and there's nothing else. There's no circlip at all on this whole assembly. So no matter how hard I've pushed, I just cannot get this thing to move out. So I'm thinking I can try and clean the shaft up in situ with a little bit of very fine emery paper. Fortunately there's a keyway there, so I can't get it all the way. Let's see if I can get it lower down from the other side. Let's get to the top again. And I'm going to have to make sure that I get all the grit out of this. Let's see if I can wash it. Can't believe it. Okay, so I've polished up the shaft with some very fine emery paper. And it seems to be working now. So I'm just going to clean out the whole thing with brake cleaner, because I want to make sure there's no grit left anywhere. It's looking all nice and clean. So I did find a little bit of iron or steel filings in the oil when it came out. So I'm thinking of, on the little plug, I'm going to mount a little magnet or something on here so that the stuff sticks to it. So when I change the oil and I take this out, it should all stick to the magnet. Alright, so that is about that. So now it's just a matter of putting it all back together again. So the first thing is to get the motor back. Okay, so I've lowered the head down now, and I can swing this motor into place. There's a little key that's got to go in here. I think I've got the keyway lined up. Yeah. Piece of wood or something. so I can get the straps off. Okay, safe to take the straps off. Right, now I'm going to line up the bolt holes. Right, so that part is done. So I've got the oil that they recommend, but I'm going to just, before I close up, I'm going to squirt it onto like the various gears and moving parts. So I've got these little magnets. I've got a nice hole through them and everything, and they're pretty strong. So I can easily mount one or even two. I think I'll put two on there. But I want to drill a little hole and put a bolt in just to hold them in place. I'm going to just cut the screw off to length. Cut the screw off to length and screw it on with a little bit of Loctite. So there we go, it's all back together, and unfortunately I don't have enough oil, so I can't really run it. Okay, so it all seems to be working again. It's just a matter of getting some oil and filling up. So everyone, thanks for watching, and please join me on my next one.